Well, this summer I got shifted out of my initial place Pune, so I was a bit sad. But I decided to convert my summertime sadness into summertime madness, and this process involved me going aero modeling. So before I move further, please ensure that you have watched my first video, which basically tells what are the forces acting on plane or any powered object in the air. So aero modeling, it's basically the science of designing, creating and building planes. Since I remember, I only know how to make paper planes, that to the most basic model. But after doing this awesome course, now I know how to make 10 different kinds of planes. So of course you can't build the Airbus 380 on the first day. You have to begin with the basics. And the most basic level of aero modeling is by making rubber powered plane or gliders. In my case, we built rubber powered planes. The reason because they are much more interesting than gliders, because they have power, and second because they use the most basic principle of physics of converting potential energy into kinetic energy. And of course the third reason was that they are super cheap. So what we were given in the beginning of this course was a bunch of everyday use stationery and this special wood. It's known as the balsa wood. It's extremely light and harder than paper. It's like vibranium in the world of planes. Now this masterpiece is what's needed. It tells us about different parts of a plane and also the most basic principle of flight, that your wingspan should be equal or approximately equal to the length of your plane. The construction began by cutting this light plank of balsa wood into 4 mm strips like these, then cutting them further, then making the central part of the plane, the side wings, the stabilizer, the rudder, then sticking them on a butter paper and cutting them out, then just putting it all together to get a display of how your plane would look, and then sticking the parts with a super glue, and your bird's ready to fly. Well, this is the basic design of my bird. By the look of it, you can see that I've placed my wings at an angle of 9 degrees from the horizontal. And the reason is because I need to get maximum amount of air beneath the wings than above it so as to make the bird go up. And the only way possible is by getting maximum part of the rotor beneath the wings. Therefore, by giving it an angle, only a fraction of rotor is left above the wing and the rest comes down, and the bird gets more air here and it goes up. Secondly, I have placed my wings on a saddle. Saddle is basically something that can move. It can move behind, it can move in front. Well, I needed to use a saddle because I don't have any aeronauts. Had I had aeronauts, I would have just stuck the wings at its place. But since I don't have any aeronauts are basically those flaps which control the longitudinal movement of the plane, that is if the plane will go up or down. And since I don't have any aeronauts, the whole wing becomes my aeronaut. Therefore, moving the wing towards the rotor or behind the rotor actually controls the slope of my takeoff. That is, if I move my wings towards the rotor, the air beneath the wing will hit with more pressure and hence the slope of takeoff is more. And if I move it behind, the slope gradually decreases. Thirdly, whereas the saddle is really helpful, it sometimes really becomes the raga of the whole plane if it just slides across like this or just falls apart and causes turbulences in flight. The rest of the parts like the rudder and the elevator or the stabilizer are just the same. Well, this is a homemade rubber. I broke my original rubber after giving it 608 turns, but even this works good, not that good, but still now it's our time to check the flight. By the look on my face, you could have said that I was expecting my plane to cross my backyard in one strike. But that didn't happen. The reason was because I didn't give my rotor a good amount of turns. And secondly, even my wing was not placed at the right spot. So it is said that in flying, the hardest part is landing and the most easiest part is takeoff. But in case of rubber powered planes, the most difficult part is the takeoff and the easiest is landing, because actually you don't have to land it, just crashes or just glides down. So you really need to know how you should release your plane. So you should really release your plane very nicely, because you don't want your plane to stall like this or fly like this. All you want that is your plane should glide down very nicely. BrahMos is India's supersonic cruise missile, and BrahMos 2, which is India currently making, is gonna be the world's fastest missile with a speed of 7 Mach. That's like 8,500 kilometers per hour. And you know what? I have the prototype ready. That's all, folks. Today we humans have come a long way since Wright brothers first flew their plane only for 12 seconds, and today the record of flying a rubber powered plane is of more than 13 minutes. So thanks guys, as I said, we have come a long way, and so have I, because it's been 6 months of Art of Smart. Thanks for watching all my videos and thanks for subscribing. Guys, I have this very awesome friend who makes these very nice videos basically on gaming. So go check his channel out. This is Call of Duty. The name of his channel is The Game Campaigner. I have put the descriptions in the link below.